Let's take a moment to quickly review function notation. Whatever this equals is the name of your function. So here we have f of x because we have f and then in parentheses x. Up here we had g of x. You can also have things like even p of t. So these variables can change to whatever. Whatever you have in parentheses here is your input. So here my input would be t. And then whatever it equals is your output or your range. Now, typically we're going to have numbers that we're inputting. So let's say I had f of 2. Then I would come over here and plug in a 2 here. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. My y value would be 7 when I'm inputting the x value of 2. So example 2 says use the graph of the following f of x to find each value. So we don't have the equation like I have here, but I can find it based off of this graph right here. So if I have f of 3, this 3 represents my x, right? Because this is usually f of x. So here x equals 3. So on this graph, I'm going to come along my x-axis to where x is 3, and I want to meet my graph. I have no graph below, so I know I need to go up. Here is my point on my graph. What is my y value when my x is 3? And that would be 1. Okay, so here we have 4 times f of negative 2. So first thing I need to find is that f of negative 2. So we have 4 times. This negative 2 is my x value. So I'm going to go along my x-axis to an x is 2. I have no graph above it this time, so I'm going to go down below. Here is that point when I have an x value of 2. What is my y value? It is also negative 2. Okay, so we evaluated f of negative 2 to equal negative 2 based off of our graph. And now I'm going to multiply that by 4. So my final answer here would be negative 8. Okay, let's change the form. We stated back in the first lesson that f of x is just another name for y. So here they are telling us that our y equals negative 3. And they're telling you find x. So even if you're like, I don't know what f of x is, they're telling you to find x. So they're giving you y. So I'm going to start on my y-axis this time. When my y is at negative 3, this time I have no graph to the left. So I'm going to go to the right, or I have no graph on the right. I'm going to go to the left. What is that y value or that x value? My x value is at negative 1. Okay, trying one more time here. Here, f of x equals 1. So that is them saying y equals 1. So going along your y-axis here to when your y is 1, meet your graph. I have graph over here to the left. So 1 value is x equals negative 5. But we're also doing this one backwards. We also have a point right here, which is a y value of 3. So that one has 2 x's when y is 1.